I made over $20,000 trading the NASDAQ, not with luck, but by following my discipline and understanding price behavior. In this video, I'm going to try to walk you through the exact strategy, mindset, and how to, I guess, start using smart money concepts. If you're trying to get consistent with day trading, what I believe I'm about to talk about could change your approach to the market. And I wish I had someone to teach me this when I was first starting off, but I didn't. So I'm going to try and do so in this video. If you're new here, my name is Antonio. Um, come from a small town, Whitmore Lake. This is like my second video, I believe. I thought I'd just put myself out there, put my knowledge out there for any new people. I specialize in trading the NASDAQ, SMC principles, particularly the divergence with the shift in order flow with the retest. In this video, um, I'd like to take you behind the scenes of how today I made $20,000, which for me is life-changing money. You know, I never would have thought possible. So that's why I'm coming on here to make this video, help out some new people. All right, part one. I think I'm gonna title this Mindset Over Mechanics. So let's start with what most traders overlook: discipline and structure. Before I ever made a trade, I made a promise to myself to, like, if there was no setup, there was no trades, right? Before I ever made a trade, just if you make a list, like I think I had a sticky note on my computer with 5 different things that had to happen for me to enter a trade. If one didn't happen, just shut off the computer, go about your day, go to work, but who wants to do that? But you um I only trade with I only trade when the criteria was met. And if that starts with my higher time frame bias, which I get from the 12-minute chart. The 12-minute chart, I like to say, is my secret weapon because people like to use the 15-minute, the 5-minute, I mean like the 1 hour, 4 hour, 4 hour. That's great, but 12-minute particularly is one of my favorites. Why? Because it's fast enough to catch volume imbalances, but slow enough to give me true SMT divergence. All right, now let me break down the entry process. This is where the edge becomes cash. As you can see, we have this line I've drawn is between NASDAQ and the ES. Also, one thing I need to put out there, when you're comparing two things next to each other, don't use the micros. You can trade on the micros separately, like once you enter and exit, but use the regular ES and NQ as your confluences, right? So, anyways, once I spot this 12-minute SMT divergence, I drop down to the 3-minute and I look at um, for it's called a CSID, I believe, change state in delivery. So I will show you what that looks like. So I got the 1 and the 3-minute actually going on here. This could be a good spot for an entry. You know what? Let's enter here and come back to it later. This is just on my paper account. Let's actually, because I was gonna enter like before I even made this video, but let's just put that there and just see what happens. Okay. So let's go back to the time. The 1 minute goes that far back, yeah. All right. So here's where I do the 12-minute SMT. Oh, look at that position. This is just a paper. Just the practice is always great. So change the state and delivery. What I do is I mark up my 1 minute, like the last one, like these blue candles. This is the 1 minute uh fair value gap with displacement, which is like just a big candle, you know. And then I mark up the third one. And as you can see, um, when it breaks above the 1 minute, it has to break above the 1 minute and the 3 minute. Instead, once I spot the 12-minute SMT divergence, I drop down to the 1 and the 3 minute. I look for a CSID, change of state and delivery. And I don't just jump in once I see the fair value gap. Instead, I wait for price to break through the gap or break through down, either way. And then once it breaks through, I don't just enter. I wait for it to retest and then form an inside bar, which an inside bar is these orange candles. Let's check up on this. Oh man, look at that. Anyways, I wait for it to break through and then retest with the inside bar. And if that happens, then I enter. My stop is tight, usually at the bottom or the top of the fair value gap, either if you're going long or going short. Now, the results. Turning strategy into profits. This structure allowed me to stack wins trade by trade. I mean, you're going to have losses no matter what, day by day. Some days it was 500, and some days I lost, way more, or I made way more, or it evened out. But it wasn't about getting rich fast. None of that mumbo jumbo you hear on TikTok or social media. It's all BS, all right? Just delete TikTok, delete Instagram, just clear your mind off of the social media, okay? It's about being disciplined and letting probabilities work in my favor. Now, as you can see here, over the course of several weeks, this method has brought in over $20,000 in profits. Here are my last payouts that I've recently received from TopStep LLC. Now, with this last trade, I didn't over leverage, I didn't revenge trade, I just waited like a sniper for SMT divergence to align with my price volume narrative. I stuck to the process. Here's a little bonus for you. How can you apply this strategy? If you want to apply this method, start by tracking SMT divergences on the 12-minute using NASDAQ and ES, drop into the 1 and 3 minute charts for clear fair value gap shifts after displacement, journaling every single entry and exit so you can build confidence and data. This is not some guru stuff. This is real chart work. It takes time, but the payout is clarity, control, and consistency. Here are my final thoughts. Trading is a business. If you want to treat it like gambling, you will lose every single time. But if you develop a system and stick to it, you can win big. It doesn't have to be big, but you will win if you stick to your discipline. I'm not saying this will be easy, but I'm saying it's possible. Drop a like if this breakdown helped, and subscribe if you want a deeper, like a way deeper breakdown on smart money trading, intraday setups, and building your edge in the market. I did stop recording, but here's a little extra bonus at the end. This was the trade that I entered at the beginning of the video. Um, Let me reset this. Let me positions. This is just paper, like I was saying. The stop would be here. I'm actually gonna let this play out, and I'm gonna fast forward it for you guys. And this will be a sell. Either it'll take profit or it will cut me out. Take my magnet off. Hold on. So yep, we retested with the inside bar, this orange candle. Oh, bad Wi-Fi. Oops. Stop loss right there. Take profit is always going to go for a 2R.